Your mic.
Hello, can you hear me now? Hopefully.
Hello, hello.
Hello, hello, hello.
Let me check back. Anything yet?
I think we're working now. We should be working now. So.
Wait for it. Let's get some responses. Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
All right.
Nice.
Awesome. So, once again, hi, I'm Scott from Squatch, America.
And I'm Hannah from the Paddy Wagon, and he's from the Paddy Wagon too, but I make it a lovely home.
And here we are. So, welcome back, everyone. We're sorry we've had a lot of technical difficulties. In fact, we were fighting it up to like 1 second ago.
And for the record, who fixed it?
She Googled. Okay. She's a better Googler than I am.
Yes,
okay.
It's true.
But we got a great show for you tonight. So,
and in case anyone has lots of buffering, it's not on our end. We have got blazing hot internet here.
We do. Ours is running great. So, woohoo! All right. Well, what are we
talking about?
What are we talking about tonight?
We're talking about a lot of BS.
We are. We're going to talk about
not that we haven't had enough BS in the recent, but
so
we want to talk about not giving a crap anymore about the BS.
Yes, we are going to be talking tonight about not giving any crap about the BS. We are going to give 0 Fs from now on.
0 Fs?
Yeah, you know what I mean.
Oh, yeah, I do. That took a minute.
It took her a minute. And I have in my hot little hand my new remote that helps flip slides.
Yes, thank you so much, Bob Warren.
Thank you, Bob Warren.
From Lancaster, PA. One of our favorite cities.
Yes. And a good friend.
Yes, a very good friend.
Oh, yeah. He said nice t-shirt.
Yes, this is our new merch. Guys, if you have not ordered the new merch, pop on to squatchamerica.com store and get your new merch. You can get it in t-shirts, hoodies, coffee mugs, stickers, long sleeve, short sleeve, multiple colors. Ladies, I chose shirts that are fitted for ladies' sizes and not just the one size fits all. Why is this too tight around my hips? So too big around my boobs.
Yeah,
shirts.
So there's a link in the description below that goes to our website. It goes to our store. And we're working on some links with YouTube's here. But so this is not working like it's supposed to.
Why?
Oh, there it is. I had to do a little fix in here. Hold on. There we go. So tonight we're going to be talking about what I like to call as Bigfoot BS. And
Bigfoot BS?
Well, it's not
BS
really BS in general. Here in the Bigfoot world. And everybody knows that there's some BS in the Bigfoot world. But I don't think it's going to be what we're talking about. Does it say it's
I just switched networks for me, so.
Oh, is that why you scrolled? Okay, there we go. Okay.
Yeah.
So here we go. So one of the things I wanted to talk about is, see if it works. Oh, hold on, I got to press the button here and boom. So.
Do you know Grumpy Cat died not too long ago?
What?
Well, Grumpy Cat.
He died a long time ago.
I know. He was such a good kitty.
So we're going to talk about the haters, because there's haters out there that are going to hate. And I get not a lot, but a fair amount of people a lot of times giving me BS about looking for Bigfoot. And we get a lot of comments on our YouTube channel about any research and stuff we've done, and every once in a while there's the hater out there. And YouTube in general, I mean, we're not the only ones. I mean, every YouTube channel has haters. And so
buffering has improved. I switched servers for mine.
Okay, there we go. And so anywho, we need to discuss. Well, I'm going to be telling you how I feel and what we've got coming up, and how I really feel about the haters and all the basically science stuff. Because being a scientist myself, and I get a lot of crap from other scientific type people and nerds in general. And which is kind of weird because I was in a huge nerd community for a long time. But I want to talk about history. First of all, people with new discoveries and new science and new ideas, this hating people for that
It's stupid.
is stupid, but it's not unheard of. And
It's
it's been
kinda
going
normal.
on forever.
Yep.
Forever. So I'm gonna rifle through a few people here for you real quick, just to give you an idea of what I'm talking about. Let's talk about.
But first, don't we have a fun video to watch?
We'll get there in a second.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so
I'm stuck.
I'm gonna talk about Razi. A lot of people don't know about him, but he was a pioneer from Baghdad who lived between 860 and 932 AD. He was responsible for introducing Western teaching, rational thought of Hippocrates. I couldn't get the word out of my mouth. And he basically wrote down a bunch of really good information about basically medicine. And do you know what happened to him? A Muslim cleric, priest, had him beat with his own book until he was blind and he could no longer practice medicine. Next person. Is it Michael or Michelle? Is he French?
He was from Spain. He was from Spain. It was probably Mikhail.
Mikhail
Servetus.
He is credited with.
Servetus.
He's credited
He
about
discovered
figured
blood.
out that blood ran through your veins. Isn't that weird? Somebody had to figure that out at one time. And this was back in the 1500s. He basically discovered that how the blood filtration system worked. You know, how it runs through every bit of your body and brings oxygen. It goes through the heart and then it goes through the liver for filtration and all that stuff. He figured all that out. But there's this guy named John Calvin disagreed with him.
Burned him at the stake.
Burned him at the stake and burned all his books.
That's for all you Baptists out
Okay,
there.
and we all know about Galileo, the guy who figured out that the Earth goes around the sun, not the sun going around the Earth, and that the Earth is actually round and not flat. So we know what happened to him. The Catholic Church threw him in prison, basically house arrest, for the rest of his life. He never got to go outside ever again or look at the stars. Next, I can't even say this.
Gerhard Domag.
Gerhard. I can do Gerhard because it's German, but Gerhard.
Domag, probably.
Yeah, he won a Nobel Prize. In for medicine because he figured out how antibiotics worked. Wow. But he happened to be in Nazi Germany at the time. So the Nazis forced him to turn down the prize because it didn't come from the Nazi regime.
And it says here because someone else had won the prize who was anti-Nazi.
Exactly.
So it didn't glorify the state.
Yep. So after the war, I'm not sure if he defected to the U.S. or not. He might have been one of them, but he got his prize eventually, but he didn't get the money. And here's a guy you've probably never heard of. His name's Albert Einstein. And he basically had to flee Germany for his life. In fact, he had went to America. I can't remember how it worked. I think it says right here the property.
It says he was already
yeah.
already in California at the time
The
Hitler
war
came to
started.
power.
Yeah.
And when Hitler came to power, they instantly stripped him of all. Of course, he was a Jew. He was a Jew. He's a Jew by birth, non-religious, because Albert Einstein was not religious, but he was Jewish by DNA, and so and he was very prominent in the academic community in Germany and throughout Europe. And the minute Hitler came to power, they stripped him of all of his offices and his titles and his degrees, and they just basically erased him.
All right. So.
And thanks to Einstein's the one who told our government that Germany was studying atomic science and they better get their game on.
Yep. So, let's talk.
People don't like what they don't know. They don't know what they don't know, and they're terrified of knowing what they don't know.
Exactly. Yes.
It's all fear-based.
It is. And because some people think, and another thing, we always made fun of, probably going to catch a lot of hell for this too, of our hometown of Baker City, Oregon. Our former hometown, by the way. We always said that there's something we noticed about.
This is really normal of a lot of places.
And it's normal of a lot of small towns. Is that normal is well, how did you put it? You put it the best.
Here's what I'm gonna say is that if it's done differently than it's always been done, it's suspect. And so if a group of people is accustomed to thinking a certain way, doing things a certain way, that's their normal. And if you do anything outside the outside the narrative, outside the normal, outside what they think is reality, you're threatening them.
Yes.
So if you come in, let's say you come in and expect a new level of excellence from a particular group, you're shot down because that is outside their wheelhouse.
Exactly. So we always said that in Baker, what was it? Normal was.
I don't remember.
What? No.
I don't remember. But I do know that I encountered a lot of opposition we both encountered a lot of opposition when we tried to raise the bar for anything.
Yeah. So if you keep the bar low, you're okay.
Yeah.
And I noticed Renee said I wasn't a nerd in high school, and you're correct. I wasn't.
Were there nerds in Imbler at all?
I don't think there was any nerds in our high school. Well, there was a couple. I think maybe Danny Towell was a nerd. There was a couple. But actually, I didn't discover my nerdness until after high school. I wasn't given...
When was your first D&D game? Come on, be honest.
It was after high school.
Well, see, there you go. D&D corrupted you.
Yeah, after that, after I got out of Imbler,
but
I discovered I was a lot smarter than I thought I was.
But it's not just things like we encountered in the performing arts. Growing up in uber religiousville, anytime we asked questions that were outside our church's doctrinal interpretation of scripture, anytime, and I found this as I went into seminary later on, anytime I started thinking outside the box at all, I was, no, you need to come back in, that's heresy, or that's definitely not what God meant, or, so it happens in science, it happens in religion, it happens anytime you go, anything that's countercultural, no matter what culture you're in, is going to be seen as suspect and wrong.
Exactly. So
anytime you change the narrative. Haven't we heard that a lot lately?
Yeah. So
changing the narrative. So, Renee says there were nerds.
I know there were. There was a couple. And I actually hung out with Danny Towell and Jane Wagner. They were nerdy. So
I was a total nerd. But when I was in high school, nerds were not kindly looked upon.
Mr. Town was my favorite teacher. He was a science teacher.
That's not necessarily nerdy. Anyway, moving on.
Moving right along. So we're going to talk about
Bigfoot.
This. Oh, I did it right the first time. That face right there. If you see that face looking at you on the screen there, this is what really changed my paradigm. That face looking at you is a Bigfoot. That's a photo that I took with my camera in my hand by myself when I saw this thing looking at me. I was out looking for Bigfoot. I was searching. I was 99% sure they existed from the science that I had studied about them. But this right here is what threw me over the edge when I actually saw that Bigfoot with my own eyes. So what did that do? That took me out of, it took Bigfoot out of the realm of science, supposition, probability, theory into reality for me. And it's done that for a whole lot of people in this world.
So basically, a whole lot of people have an experience with reality that differs from what is commonly accepted.
Yes.
Therefore, we're wrong.
Exactly. Therefore, we're wrong. And we hear about it. We hear about it a lot. In fact, look at this. These are some of the comments that I just jerked off. I just pulled off my page. And they were making fun of like people that I interviewed. Like the first one, I won't tell you what video that's on, but it says this woman, she only blinked a few times, so therefore she's on crack during an interview. That makes sense.
Did you know people with chronic dry eyes don't blink much?
I know.
Interesting. This is nothing. This photo should never have been brought here.
Yeah, exactly. And you know what? I kind of agree with that guy for that video, because I know what video he's talking about. I actually do agree with him. But, you know, and a lot of times I will love the constructive criticism. I put this one up here so I could say that. So actually I agree with that video, even though it was kind of, this should never been on there. You know, he's kind of right. But that's why I don't.
Pretentious, actually.
Yeah, but it's kind of pretentious. This is nothing in capitals. You know.
Thanks, man. The emotional swells and crescendos of the corny and trite piano music. First of all, I'm taking offense to corny and trite piano music. Helps to obfuscate the bad acting in poorly fitting costumes. Why didn't you use the word erudite with that?
I don't know.
That would have been a great word. Erudite. Mr. Pascal Luciano Bravado.
Bravado. Oh, bravado.
Erudite. Isn't erudite a great word?
It is. It is. And this one here from AJ313, 1 year ago.
Oh, fake.
Oh, fake. That's because he has 13 subscribers. All fake. Anyway. I think I just checked. We're over 1,300 subscribers. So
thank you very much, subscribers.
Thank you, subscribers.
Now we probably have 13 true fans, but
yeah. So keep liking and sharing and all that stuff.
Yes.
So this is what changed my paradigm. This photo right here, and this is why, you know, I get the haters in the comments, but I have to look at them and say, you know what, haters are going to hate. Does it hurt? Sometimes it stings a little, but really I don't give a crap. I don't give a crap what they say, because I know from the science and from my own experience that this thing is real. That's why we've started Squatch America. That's why we're going to move our narrative from trying to tell people that this exists. I'll never be able to do it. And quite frankly, I don't care if they believe if this exists or not.
At this point, we're just going to live our lives according to what our experience has been.
Uh-huh.
And
we're going to advance the science by taking it to the next step. So we're not going to
wait for science to catch up with us.
Yes, we're not going to wait
for
the mainstream science to figure out that the earth goes around the sun,
or is round itself,
because there's still people. Okay, but anyway,
moving on.
Moving on. In fact, I ran into a guy about a year ago at a Bigfoot conference trying to convince me how flat the world was. So, anyway, so here's the deal. We are going to take this to the next level. We're going to stop, like I've said this several times, we're not going to proceed with the I'm going to prove that Bigfoot is real to the world.
We're just going to operate knowing that he's real.
Well, I'm going to take that.
We know, and
yeah,
we're going to take the next step.
The next step
as
is
if science was on the same page.
Right. And the next step is we're going to tell you what he is, who he is, and where he is, and how he lives, and all that stuff.
Based on the real experience of thousands of others.
Exactly. So, we're going to take a little page, and what time is it?
I don't know. It is 6:24.
6:24. All right.
Mountain Standard Time. By the way, we are in Rapid City, South Dakota right now.
Yes, I was going to get to that later, but
okay.
Anyway.
I stole your thunder.
You stole my thunder. So anyway, we're going to do a little segment that I like to call Hannah Helping.
Oh my God. I feel like I'm on Uncle Jimmy's clubhouse.
You are. This is Hannah's Helping time. You got to love her.
Am I supposed to say something?
No. She threw up a little video. If you hadn't seen it, it's over on our Paddy Wagon channel. But we're going to make you sit through it right now.
Hey, it is a beautiful rainy day here in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, and my husband and I, who's over there driving, we are on our way to start our whole little Amish experience. Not much of it an experience, mostly the touristy stuff, but we're going to go check out the Amish handcrafted goods and the architecture and the whole lifestyle thing, and we're only in this area for like 1, maybe 2 days. It depends on how much we want to drive the next few days. But we wanted to at least get a taste of what Amish country is. And I have always wanted to visit this area, so I am so excited. So here we are. We are in a little tiny Amish buggy. And my question for the Amish is, how do you keep your frame so tiny? Because we are not fat anymore and we can't even fit in this thing.
It's cute. It's beautiful.
It is. You know, this has just been like a little Amish museum, but we haven't actually gotten out into the country yet. But the workmanship of everything is phenomenal. Just
awesome.
Phenomenal. Okay. Is our mic on?
Yep.
All right. So you're going, what the heck does our trip to the Amish community have to do with Bigfoot? Even Scott looked at me earlier today because I said, "Ooh, honey, let's show my little Amish clip film that I put together for my blog tonight." And he says, "Well, what does that have to do with what we're talking about?" I said, "It has everything to do with what we're talking about." Because here's the deal. So I had always wanted to, first of all, this is an evening in the paddy wagon. And part of why you're all here is to know what are the people in the paddy wagon up to? Well, the paddy wagon was in Amish country just last week. It was fabulous.
It was.
And we met some Amish people in Maine while we were work camping. And we started learning about the Amish community, their values, their practices even then. But we learned so much when we toured the Amish farm and home, and I did some digging into Amish history, and you can read all about this if you want to go to hannahviolet.com and check out my latest blog on this. I write a little more in depth about it, but here are the two things that really struck us, and it's kind of the same two things that is informing what our decisions right now and informing how we proceed with Bigfoot research. The first thing is that Jacob Ammon was a tailor. He was the founder of the Amish community, but before that he was a tailor. Now, I don't know what y'all know about clothing manufacture practices from 200, 300, 400 years ago, but clothing that was made then was made excellently. It was expensive. It was excellently made. It was made to last. It wasn't like the crap that you buy at Walmart today. And so the Amish have carried this deep religious sense of excellence with them. They live very simply, but they live excellent lives. Everything in their homes, everything on their bodies, everything they put into their bodies is absolutely pure and excellent and is made to last. And so, they really don't care that the world looks at them and says, oh, they wear those funny clothes, or they drive those funny rigs or whatever, because they are investing themselves in things that will stand the test of time. And they're not swayed by the winds of changing tradition or changing governmental structures or whatever,
They're not.
They're not.
In fact, I got a little funny interlude I'm going to throw in here, and I think you know what I'm going to say.
I know exactly what you're going to say. It is hilarious.
It is hilarious. So when we were with the Amish people, and I was talking with a gentleman, and I asked him if they had a lot of a problem in the Amish community with the
pandemic,
the beer bug. And he said, no, we haven't had any problem whatsoever. And I said, really? I said, I wonder why that is. And he goes, that's because we don't have TV.
It's true.
It's true.
Anyway, so the other thing that we walked away with, the other thing is we looked around and as we were reading and listening to the tour guide, and we had a great tour guide, her name was Lena, and she was explaining a lot. One of the things, of course, that the Amish are so well known for is their refusal to use modern conveniences. They still, according to the stereotype, live as they did in the 1700s. That's not quite true. They very much have electricity. They very much use gasoline and diesel-powered equipment, propane, all these things, primarily propane, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. They use all these things. In fact, when we were on that tour, we saw local, as in, big enough to manage the farm, hydroelectricity. Mm-hmm. Water wheel creating electricity, which was running the electricity on the stead.
And they had this really cool water wheel. I got to throw this in.
Okay, throw this in.
This water wheel that was turning a crank. And it was on a pendulum that was weighted and was going up and down. And then there was a cable that went up to a pole, and this cable ran, a quarter of a mile across the farm to a well on another pendulum that pumped the water. So they had a water wheel in the creek pumping water out of the well, which was awesome. It was really cool. This cable ran, it was a long ways through the trees, and they would put little leather loops in the trees and then on the side of the barn just to get the cable to hang. It was pretty
absolutely
awesome.
Phenomenal. But here's the thing: they have absolutely no problem with modern conveniences. They don't look at an electric hand mixer and say that's evil. That is the furthest thing from the truth. Here is the reasoning. This community doesn't want to be reliant on a system that could turn on a dime and be gone tomorrow. We discovered this year that the world can change like that, and everything we relied on yesterday could be gone tomorrow. And so the Amish have built a community that is completely self-sufficient, self-reliant, self-sustaining. If the world ended tomorrow, it wouldn't touch them.
They wouldn't notice it.
They wouldn't even notice it. They would go on as normal. And I thought, whoa, I love that. I mean, and so here's what we walked away with. We walked away with this, you've got an entire community of people that really doesn't give a flying flip about what other people think. They know it works. It works for them. Mm-hmm. And they coexist quite nicely with the English around them. That's what they call us. We're the English. If they were Jewish, they would call us the Gentiles. And they live their lives in peace, in harmony. Please don't come talking to me about the Amish Mafia. I mean, every group has some kind of whatever. But that's what we walked away from. We don't have to apologize for wanting to raise the bar, for not wanting to maintain a lower standard of what people think reality is. Mm-hmm. And we don't also are not going to put ourselves in a position to be adversely affected by changing things around us. Did I get that right?
I think you got it right. So how's that apply to Bigfooters?
Bigfooters. All right, don't be ashamed. Fly it loud and proud.
Exactly. Exactly. And that's what we're doing. I mean, we have to not care what
other people think.
Mainstream science thinks, what
society
thinks, whether we are, if they think we're just off the wall and we get all the comments. We have to proceed with what we know.
And with what we want to create in the world.
Yes, exactly. So
you heard a thing this morning. Haters are going to hate. Creators are going to create.
Exactly.
We get to choose which one we are.
Exactly. Do you get? So yeah. So we're choosing to be creators. What are we creating? We are trying to create a community of Bigfoot knowers that have a safe place to go, and also have a safe place to give information out, so we can create the narrative that we're trying to create of what is Bigfoot's lifestyle.
Yeah.
So,
by the way, I want to interject something here. We have a little conversation. Yes, the Amish beards are cool. Did you know that Amish men do not wear a beard until they get married?
Yep.
That is what they wear instead of a wedding ring. Makes sense. You're not going to get a beard, or you're not going to get a beard caught in some kind of grinder machine or whatever. Anyway, and I just want to say this. As you all know, I am a health coach, and I help people get healthy, and I help this guy get healthy. And since his nutrition has been so much better over the last almost year, mm-hmm. Look at the glorious beard
it's
that is
coming
starting
yep.
to happen. He could never grow one before.
Yep.
It's going to be a glorious beard.
Yep. Probably as glorious as my son Dustin's. So, we're working on it. Anyway.
It's growing so fast and thick.
It is. So, that's what we wanted to throw at you tonight, was the fact that we're
done pandering to the BS.
Yeah, we're not pandering to the BS anymore. We're going to proceed. We're going to accept Bigfoot as real. We're going to accept anybody else who accepts Bigfoot as real. We're going to accept everybody's stories as fact until proven not, because there are some
Innocent
hoaxers.
until proven guilty.
Yeah, there are some hoaxers, so we got to be kind of careful with that.
With still applying a healthy amount of skepticism, because that's the scientific method.
It is.
So, and if you would like to join our Bigfoot religion, please just send your 10% tithe.
No. Speaking of which, nice segue.
What? I don't even know what you're talking about now.
So, first of all, we want to tell you that, yes, we are in, let me see. We are in Rapid City, South Dakota right now. And we will be here until the 17th. 19th, 18th.
We leave the 19th.
But we're busy on the 18th. So, and we're leaving the 19th. So, basically, we're free up until the 17th.
If anybody wants to meet up.
Yeah, if anybody wants to meet up, just message us and we will get you in contact with us. You can go to squatchamerica.com and send us a message.
And fill out a Bigfoot report.
Or, link to the email address or whatever. And if anybody's got any stories in this area, because we'll be here a while. I did manage to look up some.
And we'll be covering those next week.
We're going to be covering those next week. That we're going to go out and do a little research. This week, thank goodness, got back out in the woods. Oh, thank you. Anyway, so, and we had a hard push last week to get across the United States from Maine. After spending a little time in
Massachusetts building a roof.
Massachusetts. Anyway.
They had a good McDonald's. Knock it off.
Yeah, I actually cheered when we crossed the Mississippi River. I'm like, oh, I'm back in the West.
Yes.
Sort of. And then we crossed the Missouri. I'm like, even Wester. But we're in the heart of the West now, South Dakota. Can't get pretty much western than Deadwood. We're right outside of
Deadwood.
Yes.
In fact, someday, when we're off the road, whenever that someday is, we are actually considering this general area as a place to build our tiny home on our little house on the prairie. Because this is the land of Little House on the Prairie, and this guy's falling in love with the prairie. I can't believe it.
Yeah, I kind of like the prairie. It's pretty interesting. So,
yep. And by modern house standards, Laura Ingalls' house was a tiny house. What have you done?
Nothing. It's fine. Just
wow. On. He's got some exciting stuff coming. I saw it on the other screen.
Yes. We finally got everything kind of working. Thank goodness. Oh, by the way, here in Rapid City, South Dakota, our internet is freaking screaming. So, yay, Nomad Internet. Not sponsored, but want to be.
They're not sponsoring us, yes.
Okay.
Actually, if you want some good rural internet, do we have the link in the description?
For what?
The referral link.
No, we don't, but we'll put it there.
Okay.
So we're also starting something else. And
well, you've been a busy boy today.
I have. So I don't know how to explain this.
Okay, Patreon is a maker's website.
Yes.
And Patreon has tiered levels of membership. So I guess you can join our religion.
Yes.
Anyway, we come at you theoretically every week with a live entertainment. I guess you could call this live entertainment. And Footprint Fridays hopefully will be coming back. But there are some to do that. We have the new website up, of course, where I will be making blog posts and will be compiling Native American cultural tales and all these things to keep the standard Bigfoot enthusiast entertained and informed. However, if you would like to support us further, Patreon is your option to do that. Mm-hmm. And right now it looks like we have 2 tiers of membership.
We do.
Are you going to explain those? Or do you want me to?
You can.
Okay, so the first tier of membership is $3 a month. Now, I am a certified Bigfoot.
Expert.
I'm a certified Starbucks barista, and let me tell you what, you cannot get an Americano at Starbucks for $3. So for less than a price of one Americano, you can donate $3 a month to us, and in exchange for that, you will get a thank you letter, beautifully written, I'm sure, by me.
Yes.
An exclusive Squatch America sticker. They are so friggin' cute, and they're quality. It's not like the crap stickers you buy, on the little wax paper background. These are beautiful stickers. A Squatch America sticker, access to a monthly patron-only YouTube live chat.
And we will throw in
a Paddy Wagon sticker
too.
Access to a monthly patron-only YouTube live chat. Which will be different than this.
Yes, it will be.
Patron-only blog posts and messages, and patron-only meetups. We will announce to patrons only where we're going to be so that we can meet up with our patrons. Now, for an extra $2, for $5 a month, you get all that plus additional exclusive content not available on YouTube or social media. A 10% ongoing discount on all of our ticketed events and our branded merchandise. So not on our Amazon store, we can't do that, but we can give you an ongoing 10% on the Squatch America branded merchandise, plus input on our research via Inner Circle member polls, and maybe we can even publish you. So
exactly. So what we're doing with the Inner
Circle, for less than Scott spends on one coffee.
Exactly. So what we're going to do
his
is
mochas cost over $7, so you know.
This exclusive stuff is when we get stories and we get evidence when we're out there, and when I come up with some cockamamie thought,
you'll be the first to hear his BS.
You'll be the first to hear it, see it, and be able to vote on it. What I want to do is say, all right, folks, you're Bigfooters, you're knowers. Here's this. What do you think? Is this BS? Is this Bigfoot?
Yeah.
So
that's at https blah 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 www.patreon.com/Squatch America. So honestly, truly, for the price of one of his mochas, heck, maybe someone out there is willing to, if we get a $5 and a $3 sponsor, you have just paid for one of his mochas.
Yes, and I'm not doing this for mochas. You make it sound like we're doing it for mochas.
No, we're not, because we make our own mochas.
Yeah, we actually have our own espresso machine. And we actually live very frugally. We have to, because we live in a camper and we travel and we live out in the woods, boondocking most of the time. So we should do a whole thing on our camper for the Paddy Wagon channel again.
We could.
But what we need, so we live really frugally, but it does cost to travel and to do this video stuff.
Run websites and mail packages and gifts and all that stuff, and the internet to share, and our high-tech Bigfooting equipment. That's all. It all costs money.
It all costs money. So. And we want to bring you some even better stuff. More better quality content. So
maybe we'll sign him up for a grammar class.
No, we will not. So what have we got in the comments tonight, folks?
We have. Dale reminds us that we are teachers. We are teachers. Because the job of a teacher... Traditionally, the job of a teacher is to bring the learner from what is known to what is unknown, until the unknown becomes the known. So really the job of a teacher is to raise the bar. Now, I don't know necessarily if that's the case anymore, but that is traditionally what education has been, to lead the learner in a process of discovery so that their minds are expanded. And so they have room for new knowledge.
That's awesome. Thank you, Dale. Yeah,
then,
and she's absolutely correct. That's part of what we're doing here too, is to educate people on the
what we know.
what we know.
We know what other people don't know.
Mhm.
And like we said, people are often scared. First of all, they don't know what they don't know, and they're scared that they don't know something, so they don't want to know what they don't know because that might mean they're wrong.
Exactly.
And people don't want to be wrong. It's
Yeah.
part of our survival instinct.
Yeah, it's a weird thing.
You know, let's see. Gordon, Happy Two Bears, says he felt the same about Massachusetts. We're just not even going to talk about that. Someone was in southern Minnesota. I don't know. Danny's on. Thank you. And Gordon likes his coffee black without people playing around with it and adding the cupboard and barnyard. I am with you. The only thing I add to mine is heavy cream. A little bit of heavy cream and I'm good. Okay, we will check email. All right.
Oh, yes. And Danny, I did see your emails. We had a bit of a disaster last week while we're traveling and all that stuff, so I did see your emails. I haven't got a chance to look at them or reply. I am terribly sorry. We've been kind of busy, but
and I will tell you this.
I'll be really busy tomorrow because the stuff we had to order came in tomorrow.
Oh, shall I film him changing out the entire sewer assembly under the trailer?
Yes, I get to play in the Blackwater tank all day tomorrow. Yeah.
No, I will say this. When we move, when we are on the road, when we are going from one place to another, it is really kind of jarring when we lose our routine, and so if we're really making a hard push on travel,
Mm-hmm.
those will probably be the weeks where you see a little notification, no show this week. You know, because it's just like our minds are not in the right spot for it.
Mm-hmm.
Tonight you almost got that with what was happening with our tech, but you know,
She Googled her way through it. Okay.
I fixed us.
So, what else do we got in the comments here?
I think Danny thinks they're here in June and he's here the rest of the year. I'm thinking he's talking about Bigfoot are there in June.
Quite possibly. I have a big theory about migration and stuff like that.
Oh, by the way, Danny, I have to be the bearer of bad news. We're not coming to California. You can blame your governor for that, but we're not coming. So we're going to skirt California this year, which means I will not be seeing my family, and I'm heartbroken.
Because California won't let people see their families.
They're going to say that's fake news.
Yeah, it's fake news, but that's the deal. So we've been beer bugged out of California. Sorry.
Yeah.
But we are going to spend some time in Texas.
In Nevada.
In Nevada. I know there's probably not many Squatches in Nevada, but
there is the world's loneliest road.
There is that.
In Area 51.
In Area 51.
And Pahrump.
Yes, we are going to go storm the gates at Area 51 to see what they know about Bigfoot. For sure that's going to happen.
But we get to go to Pahrump and pay the late Art Bell our respects.
We do. So, there's that.
And later this winter, we will be in Falk, Arkansas. Someone drop in the chat what Falk, Arkansas is famous for. Please, because if I know, all you better.
Yes, you'd better know what Falk, Arkansas is famous for. So we're going to be doing that, so some of our patrons will be able to get to meet up. And even if we're traveling and we can jog our travel to meet up with somebody,
we can do that.
We can do that. And that's part of our plans.
So, Danny, if you want to cross the border into Nevada,
you're not too far, actually. We're going to spend some time in Death Valley.
Yep.
So.
I'm not seeing anything. Oh, we're starting to wig out.
So.
Anyway, we've got 7 minutes.
7 minutes. Dun, dun, dun. I don't know what else to do for 7 minutes. I could sing a song.
No.
Oh, shoot.
Or you could end the video.
Or I could mess up. All
right, I'm not seeing that anyone knows what Fouke, Arkansas is famous for.
So.
All of you turn in your squatching cards.
Yeah.
That's what he would tell me to do. So what is Fouke, Arkansas famous for?
The Legend of Boggy Creek.
Yes.
And the Fouke Monster. For
yes.
crying out loud. Yeah.
I wonder if the Monster Mart would host a meetup.
They might. I'm sure they would, actually. So we may be doing that.
Okay. Well, it's 6:54. You have completely run out of material, and so have I.
So, put all your nasty comments in the comment bar.
Put good ones. Put bad ones. We don't care because
we don't care.
Anything you say there ups our algorithms.
Yeah. Hit the thumbs down button twice if you hate it.
And once if you love it, make sure you like and subscribe and hit the bell so that you get notified next time we're on.
Yep, and remember, our job is to investigate the unexplained,
not to explain the uninvestigated. So until next week, keep it squatchy and
go out and find Bigfoot.
bye.
Bye.